self down. I knew, you knew, everyone in that building knew that that was probably it. Now, I tried to talk myself into throughout the game. Ankle, he'll be back after the bye week. The more you kind of looked at him leaving on the cart, he's in the boot already. You're reading the stuff on Twitter in between plays. And then by the time you get to Salah in the game, you know the reality. But you could kind of tell. You know, the MetLife turf, which ironically I got a few tweets about the night before saying this turf is already an issue, and now the Giants played on it the night before, and it's horrible weather. It's definitely something to watch. Sure enough, a near 40-year-old quarterback, bang, right away. Alarming and scary that this is almost identical to what happened with Vinny Testaverde, and he was in the building this night in week 1 of 1999. It's just freaky. I don't know how else to describe it. It still has not set into me, as I'm sure it's the same for many Jet fans, that this Aaron Rodgers season, after everything the past few months, is going to consist of 4 plays and 0 pass completions, and that's it. And you know, in terms of his future beyond that, I think it's a little early to talk about that. I am sure he will vocalize he is coming back next year, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But someone at his age coming back from this injury, it's a scary thing to try to wrap your head around. Not something to think about today, something to think about as we get into, you know, the later parts of the season and his recovery process. So the environment in the stadium was the best environment I've seen since the Jets played the Pats in 2009 and 2010. And the best night game I've seen from Jet fans since the opener in 2011. The place was packed. It was loud. It was like a college game atmosphere. The lights going. It was something. And it's rare. And Jets fans have, you know, not turned out like that for a while, and understandably so, but it was electric. And it was a bit of a funeral and somber environment, as you can imagine, in the second and third quarter. Watching what looked like a repeat of last year. The defense overachieving. Zach Wilson struggling. Jets are kicking field goals, down 10, down 7, and like the clock's running, and it just felt like we were headed to a really disappointing like 16-3 loss or 16-6 loss, and would have been a shitty cherry on top of the horrible injury news. And then, you know, football's a funny sport, man. That Jet defense looks like even they are a level up from last year. Jordan Whitehead keeps intercepting passes. Josh Allen keeps fumbling the football. Garrett Wilson does something completely exceptional in catching a touchdown. And just like that, you know, the Jets are up with a chance to win the game in regulation, which they narrowly miss. I know every Jet fan at that point was like, he doinked it in, like we're screwed in overtime. And I threw up a Chad Morton prayer and basically got it answered with how it ended with the Gibson punt return, which was, you could see it coming. As soon as that punter kicked it, you could see it was one of those ones that was going to be returnable. And as soon as he turned that corner, man, that stadium absolutely lost it. And then he gets it in the end zone to end it. It was, I tell you, like, it was awesome. It was awesome in the moment to watch that game-winning touchdown and be in the building for it. And, you know, you temporarily forget about the bigger news that had happened prior. You're reminded back of that news today. And from an overall circumstance perspective, it's a little like last year on steroids. The Jets defense, I think, will be even better this year than they were last year. That's how good they look last night. You're adding in guys like Al Woods and Quentin Jefferson and Will McDonald, and maybe Jordan Whitehead having a better year than he did last year. Jermaine Johnson having a better year than he did last year.